Hello, everyone. Happy Love Day. So, happy Valentine's Day, and in particular, especially, happy Self-Love Day. Whether we're in a relationship or not, it truly is our ability to come into self-love that expresses the depth of how much we're going to be able to love outside. So, I hope that this day finds you well, and we are doing our sacred pause. So I welcome you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining me for a moment inside our own sacred sanctuary, which is that time to come home into our own being. And perhaps you'll find this a great moment to just take a breath before you go into your relationships, whatever that is for today, right? Your friendships, your family ships, your romantic relationships. Maybe it's just time with yourself. Whenever we start within, everything else gains in its quality and expression and depth and intimacy. All right, so let us begin. My hair is still wet. It's making me a little chilly. So, all right, so I'm going to invite you, drop inside, connect to your breath. Inhale, exhale, and drop down. Allow yourself first to begin to drop down into your hara space, right? Into your womb, into that sacral chakra, right? That hara space, pelvis space, womb space is our relational power center in both its ability to come together, to be open, to be vulnerable, to connect intimately, and it also holds all of our shadows and trauma. So it's a potent center, and it is one of the primary centers that requires healing and clearing and resolution, deep resolution, that actually allows us to come into clear and pure and higher frequency romantic partnerships. Sometimes we can do that work together. Most of the time it's better that we have done some of that work and created a foundation, because then we attract to us another who is also adept at doing that deeper inner work and has developed a foundation, right? Like attracts like. So breathe in and continue just to drop down. And just explore, just inquire inside, where am I at in my ability to come into self-love, to cultivate self-love, deep self-acceptance, self-honor, self-reverence, without any judgment. You might just be new to the journey, and my guess is many of you are also well along on this journey. And what then is ready to be uplifted within you into higher expressions of love? And what are those higher expressions of love? Those higher frequencies. Sometimes we may not know that there is this next here of the new templates. And then we get to just be willing to be open, to learn, to expand our perspectives, perceptions, dropping into the breath, putting one hand on that womb space, whether you male, female, doesn't matter the gender, and one hand on the heart space. These are twinned centers. They are twinned chakras. They are twinned pair within us. And they unify and bring us into a higher frequency of love and unification within. And just settle into your own touch. Feel energy emanating from your own heart through your arms, transmitting love and tenderness to self. Allowing yourself to feel held and supported, calmed, at peace, open to your own vulnerability with you, your own intimacy with you, your own emotionality within you, regardless of what it is that's showing up. And settle back down into your shoulder blades, into your divine heart center. All right, we're going to see what the Rose Oracle wants to share today on this day. Mitila maya nesuni ameya sun mialayani mia seshani am. All right. It's an interesting one for our day. So as you keep breathing, settling in, the card that we received for this collective is called Release the Petals. And I'm going to just show you. It's really quite beautiful. It's these swirling, kind of abstract roses, and you can see the energetic flow. And there is a release going on of petals into the wind, into the breeze. So the key notes are transformation, death, and rebirth, shedding, and all change. So just feel what in your world, your inner world, is calling you to reevaluate your relationship to love, personal love and higher love. And let's explore from that perspective as we release the petals. There comes a point where we can't go back. In a seemingly fleeting moment, the road that led us here is suddenly impossible to access. There's a sinking knowing that things will never be the same. A death, a birth, a loss, a growth, an ending, a discovery. No matter how hard you try, things are different now. You are different now. The world is different now. What's been seen cannot be unseen. There is no going back. Something new beckons you forth. So just breathe that in. How do you feel this within your twinned centers? Within your emotional center and your heart center, which is different than our emotions. But that's another story. This is a card of change and transformation. Courage is required for the rebirth to happen. Abscission is the shedding of various parts of an organism, just as these petals are being released, such as a plant dropping a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or a seed. The rose hip knows, the phoenix does too, that we need to surrender what was to the earth to one day be transformed anew. Mishkiat ayanat esiat huyanat ekit e. We can grasp the petals of the past as the changing winds blow, but eventually we'll discover that change is coming. Change is near. Change is already here. And while what once was is no longer, and what soon will be is not yet, it's time to release your petals to the wind with wild abandon for the chance to begin again. To offer what once was to the wind and let it nourish the seeds within. It's time to surrender to the transformation so that this rebirth may happen. Had the rose not released its petals, the rose hip would not have come to be. When we gather the courage to release what was, we are greeted by the fruits of the future. Just breathe into that. Look and see where in your life this applies. Anytime there is change and transformation, whether it be around love, it is always going to entail some kind of relationship, for we are relational beings. Our life and all of the aspects of our life are the many relationships we are involved in. Beyond people, relationship with beliefs, circumstances, others, relationship with our pain, relationship with our celebration, with that which is dying, with that which is being born. Feel into all of your relationships, both the light and the shadow. What is calling to be reborn? The rose inquires of your soul. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming in to take its place. What are you clinging to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? As you feel into that, feel into the spaces that may feel empty. Feel into the releases that you may fear an illusion of emptiness. And just drop and allow your awareness to sink into that space with your attention, with your presence, with your wholeness and holiness. And begin to recognize that the void that we fear is actually abundant with new life. Hashkan yatia kalam yatumi kisi ayana shaniki am. Rest into both the ending and the beginning, and allow yourself to be in that beautiful center of the unknown, and calling forth the faith and trust in the pause that is sacred, that will birth what is next to come. Bringing a hand to your heart and a hand to the hara or womb space. Touch and feel. You are. And take that statement, turn it inward to I am. I am. I am. Breathe that in. I am love. I am loved. I am loving. This can be your constant through all that falls away and all that becomes born. Inhale, exhale. And you may rest here in this, into your center, into your truth, into your wholeness, into the love that you are. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for receiving. I hope this resonated with you, supported you. I will see you again. Blessings.